Hey, teacher friends. Welcome back. I am Nina Rodriguez, and you're watching Misfit to Teach. This week's video, it's on a topic that I did not plan to discuss. Um, Super impromptu, and I didn't think that I've never planned for a conversation like this. And since this happened, it occurred to me that this is worth a discussion, even in a quick video. One of the things that um, teaching doesn't prepare you for, and it doesn't get any easier, is of all the things that you have to contend with as a teacher. As you develop relationships with your students, and over time you find yourself keeping in touch with a few of them, you watch them grow, you watch them um, achieve milestones if they're younger, or go off and wrestle with their dreams and go through struggles. And the students who were in your classroom, they end up taking a piece of your heart, and they start in a small way to share your life. And I think that's one of the biggest blessings about teaching. The other side of that, though, is as you go through and develop these long-term relationships with students you really, really care about, and they become a part of your family, nothing prepares you for their death. Toward the end of last week, it was brought to my attention that one of the students that I taught a decade ago had passed away. And I found out the same day that it happened. And the particularly painful thing about this one, I've had students pass away before. But what was really painful about this one was because he was very, very special to me. This student was my first favorite student when I started teaching 10 years ago. We kept in touch loosely over the years. He always remembered my birthday. He would send me messages. He's real sweet. One of those big, effervescent, gorgeous smiles. Really, really playful kid who turned into a warm and friendly and popular teenager. And then eventually just a well-adjusted, decent young man who began to make his way in the world. And so when I found out that he'd been killed, it was very much a gut punch. It was a gut punch because, these kids sort of become like your own, and you never, ever, first of all, you never anticipate their death. But secondly, you never anticipate that anybody hates them enough in the world that they'd want to end their life, especially when you care about them so much. Other teachers that he also grown up with, that also knew him, they feel the same way that I do. This one is especially hurtful. And what adds to it, for me personally, is that from the 2024 to 2025 calendar year, the last 12 months, I've had 5 students to lose their life. All of them were in an age bracket of between 16 and 22 years old. All of them were male, all of them were Black, and none of them were natural causes. Can I just ask, what is going on in our communities? I ask this really sincerely because I'm just so tired. There's being tired, and then there's being teacher tired, and then there's being teacher exhausted. And when it comes to these tragedies and petty fights that our kids get into, I find myself really reaching a level of exhaustion with it, to the point that I really just don't know what to do anymore. I never mean to make anything about race. I don't race bait. I don't believe in turning things into racial issues. There's plenty of other people who do that very well. They sort of make race baiting their craft. But look, I've never had any of my Caucasian students, any of my Asian students, any of my Muslim students. I've never had any of my female students of any culture, denomination, or race. I've never had any of them to be killed, except the 5 that I just described in this way. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm not trying to upset anyone. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm just saying I'm tired of a culture and a climate and environments that perpetuate violence against young Black males. As it is, I've lost my first favorite student. It forces me to take a look at myself because in some way I'd like to think that I could have done more. I'm not sure what. I've replayed in my head over the last few days, like what happens if I just reached out more often, if I made it a point to talk to him more often, how would things have changed? And I feel like even though we do a lot, I didn't do enough. And that makes me disappointed with me. I don't know what else there is to say except that I really hope that I don't lose any more students this year. I really hope that the death toll and the violence slows down. And I don't know where you are, but particularly in my community, that we start to take serious, actionable steps towards addressing the violence that are perpetuated against young people here. If you've experienced something similar, certainly let me know. Share in the comments. Your stories are very supportive. We love to hear from you. And join our growing community by hitting the like button and subscribe. I care about you guys. I care about our mental well-being as educators. And of course, I care about our students. Do all you can to stay fit to teach. Be well.